Peace and love, everyone. This is Minister Kadeem, and I am excited to share with you today some information as it pertains to the Social Security number. For those of you who may not know, I want to share with you that there is no law requiring a person to obtain, have, or use a Social Security number to open, use, or maintain a bank account, or to perform bank transactions in the United States. The Social Security Act, codified at 42 U.S. Code, subsection 301, 405, C, 2, I, and 3 states that there are only 4 instances where Social Security account numbers may be demanded. You ready? You ready for them? Number 1, for tax matters. Number 2, to receive public assistance. Number 3, to obtain and use a driver's license. And number 4, to register a motor vehicle. Then we also have Public Law 93-579, Section 7, 88 Statute 1909, December 31st, 1974. It states, and I quote, "It shall be unlawful for any federal, state, or local government agency to deny any individual any right, benefit, or privilege provided by law because of such individual's refusal to disclose his Social Security account number, and, quote, any federal, state, or local government agency which requests an individual to disclose his Social Security account number shall inform that individual whether that disclosure is mandatory or voluntary, by what statutory or other authority such number is solicited, and what uses will be made of it." And then 31 CFR Code of Federal Regulations 103.28 requires identification as follows. Quote, "Before concluding any transaction with respect to which a report is required under Section 103.22, a financial institution shall verify and record the name and address of the individual presenting a transaction, as well as record the identity, account number, and the Social Security or tax identification number, if any, of any person or entity on whose behalf such transaction is to be effected." So, a financial institution may be required to ask you for proper identification and a Social Security number. The financial institution is required to make a record of the identity records that you provide to them. However, there is no law requiring an account holder or customer to provide a Social Security number. Additionally, there is no law prohibiting a financial institution from opening an account or completing a transaction because a customer lacks a Social Security number. This is where your passport becomes important, because when you open that account with the passport number can then become the identification number and the account number in reference to your identity, the living man or woman, right? Who's foreign to the United States and the District of Columbia. You are you should be outside of the federal zone territory of the United States if you're talking about, living in the private and uh exercising your sovereignty. Um, because one of the things the bank is going to ask you for is an address. And if it is on record that you are a resident, then that means you are a subject. i.e., a citizen of the United States corporation. 28 USC 3002, Section D. So, moving forward, 31 CFR 103.33 requires that a financial institution include a notation in the record that a customer lacks a social security number or a certain other identification. 31 CFR 103.34 provides, in the event that a bank has been unable to secure the required identification, it shall nevertheless not be deemed to be in violation of this section if one, it has made a reasonable effort to secure such identification, and two, it maintains a list containing the names, addresses, and account numbers of those persons from whom it has been unable to secure such identification, and makes the names, addresses, and account numbers of those persons available to the secretary as directed by him. So here's the thing to note. If you are dealing with any pushback from these entities, these financial institutions, from exercising your right to not have your social security number attached to the account. I just want to bring to your attention that it may be a violation if they do under 18 U.S. Code 242 and 42 U.S. Code 1983, which provides that, quote, whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year, or both. And then 42 U.S. Code subsection 1983 further provides that a violator shall be liable to the party injured in an action at law, suit in equity, or other proper proceeding for redress. And then 42 USC Code subsection 408 provides that whoever discloses, uses, or compels the disclosure of the social security number of any person in violation of the laws of the United States shall be guilty of a felony. And, and upon conviction thereof shall be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned for not more than 5 years or both. So it is literally a felony for someone to compel you to the disclosure of your social security number if it's not for any of the four instances that it may be demanded. Again, for one, tax matters. So if it ain't a tax matter, if you ain't receiving public assistance, if you're not obtaining or using the license, the driver's license, if you're not registering a motor vehicle, then so that makes you question all of the entities out here collecting your private information through the social security number. You know, if you applied for lease, they ran your social. You get in a car, they're running your social. Um, you open an account, they want the social. But this is where we have to understand the importance of using a EIN number, an entity identification number, an employer identification number, and operating through trust and other statutory entities like an LLC or a corporation. Because when you operate through these entities, you create the separation between you, the individual, and the entity, the trust. the corporation, the LLC. So then you separate the liabilities and the debts and the assets and all of that. Right? You open up a business account, you open up a trust account instead of just a personal account. Because that personal account with that social security number attached to it makes that account subject to statutory claims from creditors. So now they can seize your bank account and do whatever they want because it's in your name attached to that social security number. Well, if there's no social security number attached to the account, then they cannot identify that account as being, um, their chattel property. So this video concludes um, the laws pertaining to the social security number and its use. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope that you do the due diligence necessary to confirm and affirm everything that I have shared with you today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button and share this video with as many people as possible to inform them of the truth as it relates to the subject matter at hand. This is Minister Kadeem. Peace and love to you all from wherever you're listening or watching. And I will be back with another one very soon. So stay tuned. Peace.